When I hold my Nintendo DS in my hand, I hold what I consider to be the key to my childhood. And what this device holds in its hands could not have been possible without the man of which I'm about to celebrate in this speech here today. So, without further ado, today I'm here to celebrate the life of Nintendo's fourth president, which was Satoru Iwata. So, this was a man who revolutionized gaming and took it to a brand new level. When I was a child, I went from playing the Nintendo 64 to a GameCube, to a Game Boy, a DS, a Wii. I had all of my Nintendo consoles, and it was honestly one of my favorite things to do as a kid. My passion and dedication to showing what Nintendo has done for me can be seen on all of the games that I've played, the dedication I've had, as well as the fact that I have many Nintendo characters tattooed onto my arm to forever show the legacy which Mr. Iwata has left for us. So after passing away in 2015, Satoru Iwata remains to this day to be one of Nintendo's greatest contributors to modern day video games. His dedication to developing, as well as his legacy as president of Nintendo, show his dedication and commitment to taking video games to the next level. So, my first point is going to be his rise to presidential success at Nintendo. According to the Wall Street Journal, Iwata represented a shift to a younger generation of CEOs in management. He was the first president outside of the founding family of Nintendo, which was a huge step for Japanese companies, of course, which were usually held from family member to family member. Now, he was someone who was always looking forward, trying to think of new ideas to reinvent the wheel and create video games in a newer light. And he always connected with his employees as a CEO. He was a true gamer from the time that he was a child to up into his passing just recently. Iwata famously quoted once, "On my business card, I am a corporate president. In my mind, I am a game developer, but in my heart, I am a gamer." He always knew what the people wanted because the people, the gamers, were also what he wanted. And he never failed to hit the nail on the head. Secondly, Mr. Iwata was a legendary programmer. Now, he graduated from the Institute of Tokyo, where he studied game development and electronic engineering, and then went on to work for a company known as HAL Laboratory Incorporated. Now, these are some of the games that HAL has been known to create, including Earthbound, Kirby, Animal Crossing, and he's also helped with The Legend of Zelda, countless Mario games, all of which even people who aren't gamers have heard these names before, have heard these games, and know how much of an impact they have had on mainstream media. These are characters that gave people an escape from the real world. Other innovations that he had at Nintendo included two of probably the most hottest selling consoles, the Nintendo Wii, which went to sell over 100 million copies in its lifetime, as well as the Nintendo DS, which was the first ever touchscreen device in gaming that boasted two screens instead of just one. And that took handheld gaming to the next step. Now lastly, and probably the most important reason why we should celebrate Mr. Iwata's life is the testimonies that people have to say of him. This first one comes from Martin Hollis, who has worked on many Nintendo titles. He said, quote, "I never felt he was my boss, or my boss's boss. I felt like he was a friend trying to help in me and my projects. There isn't another person like him in the world." Now, Roderick Broadbent, who worked on Nintendo's Star Fox series, said, quote, "He was confident enough to run against the common trends in the market. He moved in those directions only when doing so would be benefit of the core business. He always had Nintendo's best interests in mind, but was never afraid to push the boundaries that a lot of gaming companies could not do. And in turn, his success has paid off in revolutionizing gaming." Thirdly, I have Steve Engels, who is a technology associate professor in Toronto, who said, quote, Beyond the countless games and devices that were created under his watch, it is the spirit that he brought to the industry. He was always a gamer first, like in that quote that he said, and he never lost sight of the gamers who love the things that Nintendo made. So it feels like the gaming world has lost one of its own. Somebody who really spoke to them and made a connection to gamers. Now, Mr. Iwata ended up dying of a bile duct tumor in 2015. And when he did, there was an outpour from the community representing what he did, the legacy that he left, and the shoes that need to be filled. And I decided that what better way to show what he's done for me and why he should be celebrated than writing my own testimony. So, there's a reason I believe that video games attract a certain audience. Some of us, including me, would be considered the outcasts. We never found that group of friends that we could always rely on. We didn't really fit into any niche. But our friends were the characters that Iwata breathed life into. The stories he told, one meticulous pixel at a time. And the everlasting impression he made on this planet through his video games and technologies are what's going to make him be remembered forever, and why we should continue to celebrate him and all of Nintendo's immense successes, including what they are showcasing now at the Electronic Expo, otherwise known as E3, Electronic Entertainment Expo, which is currently being held in Los Angeles, California. Now, unfortunately, all great things must come to an end. This includes Mr. Iwata's life, but the reason that things have to end is so that we can memorialize them. We can remember them, and we can appreciate them now that they are no longer with us. As shown through his leadership in Nintendo, his programming prowess, and the testimony of those who he inspired, Satoru Iwata remains one of the most iconic developers in the history of video games. He has paved the way for Nintendo to carry on a legacy to continue to entertain and inspire all of those that his video games touch. Now excuse me while I continue to be immersed in the worlds that Mr. Iwata has helped create. Thank you.